Hey guys, so welcome to today's analysis. Unfortunately, man, I done this on this live Zoom session, but I realized that the Zoom session did not record it. But here at Financial Hub, we believe in no excuses. We have to deliver no matter what. So here's the analysis. I'll just repeat for you guys so that I can get on to new stuff and other stuff that I had planned for the day. So starting off, I look at dollar index. What am I looking at on dollar index? I'm more or less looking for, I was looking at this pattern. You can see this resistance the market was coming into. So always paying attention to key levels. And what was the key level? Key levels that I'm normally paying attention to are the levels where market got a strong resistance, then fell to lower lows, okay? Either lower lows or new lower highs. So I had this significant one over here once market was in this lower lows formation. So I'm always paying attention to the significant ones, so like that one and like this one over here, okay? So those are the levels I'm normally paying attention to. And last but not least, maybe if you take the top, so if you're in a downtrend, I'm looking at the previous lower highs and paying attention to it. If you're in an uptrend, I'm paying attention to the higher lows, okay? So I'm always paying attention to that. So look at that resistance. That market was a strong resistance. It was unable to break it, went to a lower low. Resistance, lower low, resistance, lower low, okay? So that's what I was paying attention to. As long as market is respecting that lower low and lower high formation, it's what is pushing markets to in that direction of the trend. So I'm normally looking at the daily chart, how I use my approach to the markets, using the daily chart to indicate whether market is in a downtrend or an uptrend, and then going to the 4-hour to pay attention to what pattern is forming and how can I trade in that direction of the trend. So what I was paying attention to, now you can ask, why have I not choose this one? So this one is also a significant level, okay? However, what I've just mentioned to you, pay attention to lower lows, lower highs. Now this one did not push market to a new lower low, okay? You see this? Let me put it in red. So that's how I pay attention to the market, and I think this is even a better analysis than what I did on the Zoom. I think it'll help you much better, okay? So you can see that one, support, resistance, okay? Market went to the upper side, did not respect this one, did not go to a new lower low, okay? So market went to the upper side, started forming this pattern, high, low, high, okay? So if market is able to break this, so let me get rid of this. I don't have many lines forming, so I normally have it at the back of my head. That's why I delete them. Takes practice, so don't do that on your side, especially if you're starting off. It's better to always have them in the charts. Don't get rid of them. But the way I'm used to the market, my analysis, how I approach the markets, I'm already used to them, so I get to clean charts. For me are much better, okay? So anyway, staying to my point, so I'm looking at that support level, the resistance level. I mean, can we respect it, or can market break? And if we break, can we respect this pattern that is forming, this channel like pattern, high, low, high? And if we respect it, can we get a correction and then market moves further up, or will market continue rallying further up, this resistance now acting as a support? So those are the questions I'm normally asking myself. What is the narrative of the market? What's the market doing? What is it showing? Looking at the other pairs that we're going to look at, Euro USD has been forming lower lows, lower highs. GBP USD in the long term, okay, lower lows, lower highs, okay? So if you look at that Euro USD, look at that. So ask yourself, what is the market showing me? What is the market telling me? What's the narrative? Okay, let's see if this pattern is what is being respected. Not really, more or less, but market has been following this trend line, okay, to the lower side, lower lows. Market had a beautiful rally to the upside, okay, beautiful rally, okay, high highs, high lows, high highs, high lows. Then sort of over here we're sort of getting that sort of significant support, those key levels that I'm normally talking about, okay? So now looking at the previous one, look at this, the level that took market to new all-time highs, not all-time highs but highs, okay? You can get to see high, low, high, low, high, okay? Now market has come in sort of breaking that pattern, breaking it, okay? So you have to pay attention to that. Don't ignore such market information. Those are the nitty-gritty things that I never used to pay attention to before, but now it's a lot of significance to me. It's acting as my trading in my trading arsenal. If I go to the 4-hour chart, what am I looking at? Look at this trend line that market has been forming. Now you want to trade in accordance to the direction of the trend. The direction of the trend, like I said, the daily chart showing me we're going down. So I come to the 4-hour to look at those corrective patterns towards the downside. I like to call them my minor DFP, my minor directional flag pattern, okay? So Look at this: impulse correction, short, impulse correction, short, impulse correction, short, impulse correction, short. You want to look at shorts. So the narrative is the dollar strength. You want to be having dollar buys. Okay, you're buying the dollar, selling the euro. Look at that: 4 successful trades within a span of September to October. Within 1 month, you've had a good trade on this one with a, I think maybe average risk reward of 1:4, 1:3. Maybe if you got all 3 trades, you have a risk reward profit factor of 3. And on 4 trades, that's, if you're risking 1% to make 3%, that's basically 12% total on all these 4 trades. So that's what has been happening on this one. GBP USD, I don't trade this pair. I also don't trade the euro, but looking at it on the daily time frame, market has been forming lower lows, lower highs. Look, lower lows, lower highs. You can see this support levels I'm drawing. To the upside, this was a significant support over here, which didn't take market to new highs. Okay, so I'm not paying more attention now. I moved to this lower one. Okay, this one, which is quite a distance. Okay, so I'm not paying so much significance to it, but I'm looking at this. You can see market was capped, double top, lower lows, lower highs. Lower lows is what has been forming. We can create another lower high before we continue moving further down. So that's on GBP USD. Aussie dollar. So I've been trying to short this pair. Unfortunately, I've not been getting good levels to short. Okay, so let me go to my chart. So I've been trying to look for shorts on this one. Market has been resisting me. Okay, so you can see same thing over here as well: lower lows, lower highs. Okay, this was my previous significant lower low. So using the key levels. Okay, back here, which was broken a while back, we had a good breakout retest around here. And why is that? Same question. Ask yourself what I'm talking about. Low, high, low. Market was a high, low, high, low, high. Came acted as a support. Wanted to see that pump into new all-time highs. Did not. Came back low. Okay, you can see breakout retest. It's breaking all those significant barriers to the downside, meaning that the trend is to the downside. Okay, so I have 2 trend lines on this one that was drawing. Okay, so I have this one here acting as a bigger time frame. Then I have one that's here on the, looking at this one over here. Okay, so I've been looking at this sort of, let's take it like that. Okay, so I've been looking at this pounds. You can see resistance. Now this resistance did not push market to new lower lows. Okay, so I was looking to see if it can be respected yet again. We can see yesterday it was slightly broken to the upper side. Okay, so you can see that breakout to the other side, market sort of spiked. So what do I normally do? Once that happens, I try and now move with the market. So there's another significant level here. I'll use this as my resistance level. Okay, look at that. You're just moving with the market, flow the markets. Now you can see that resistance. This can be another resistance in line with the $0.4 mark. Okay, on that one, which can come and help market push to new lower lows. But that's only if we get a significant resistance and market goes down. Remember, I'm also paying attention to that long term. If will the dollar continue weakening or rising? It can rise, it can weaken. If it continues weakening, what I'm looking at long term, then this one can break out to the upside and continue moving further up. Okay, but if not, this can also act as support, resistance, and market to fall further lower. If I got the 4-hour chart, pattern that I've been observing was this pattern over here. I've been trying to short this for the past few weeks, but man, it just keeps on getting me out. I think I had a short here, I had another short here. I got out on this spike over here yesterday. So I think this week I've taken 2 trades on this one. Both were spiked out, and I can't fight with the markets anymore. So I'm just paying attention to what is happening. There's that significant move to the upside that I'll be paying attention to. So that's all I have on this one. Aussie dollar 1-hour chart, anything significant. So you can see back then I had a short here. So I had a short here taken out. I had another short here which went 50% to my target. So when that happened, I locked in profits at 50%. I locked in, I broke even. When market came back up, took me out. That's where you can see my trade ended. Okay, I got in here, came out at this level. Okay, and then I had another short level yesterday morning. I took it early morning. I think the market was around here, around the 34. Was that yesterday? I believe it was. Either yesterday or Monday. Today's Wednesday. I had just a short up there. I was looking to see if market can come further low. Market stopped me out. went towards my direction just a bit, and then I got stopped out early, later on in the day. I think that was during New York, so I think around 12. Yeah, so that's what I had on that one. So I'm watching to see what market is going to form later on. Apart from that, I'm looking at gold. Gold has been a beautiful pair that has been forming, but many people are really getting spiked out. Look, I don't see any significant pattern forming over here. This is on the 4-hour chart. Nothing has been happening. Maybe if you go to the 1 hour, some people go to the 15-minute, 5-minute. Maybe it's been trending on those time frames, but I don't go that low. That's not my approach. Looking at the 1 hour, this is just a lot of noise, and this happens a lot on gold. Look at the sideways movement. Why do you want to be performing or taking trades in such a market? It's not trending. I'm normally looking for such impulse. This is a long-term correction. There are two types of corrections. Either it's a pullback or a sideways consolidating market. This is a sideways. I don't want to participate in these ones. I want to participate more in the pullback one, so that I can get a clean impulse like this one. For example, the last trade I had on gold was like this one. So impulse to the downside, ABC correction in the form of a flag, a push to the downside. That's what you want to look for. But this impulse sideways movement, oh Jesus Christ. Long time I used to trade these ones. I used to lose a lot. Like just spiked out, in, out, in, out. So I don't do that anymore. I'm more patient these days. I just wait for a significant pattern to form in line with the patterns that I normally trade. So look at that. I don't want to be in such a market. This market is not even on my radar. It's not on my top lists of markets that I'm looking at this week. Until a better formation comes in, then I'll put it on my radar, just like what we had over here previously. Look at that clean trade, in, out. You want to look for such trades, okay? So I don't have anything much on gold. I'm not watching it, nothing much. USD card, beautiful pattern, been dropping to the downside. This is a commodity pair moving in line with US oil, so it's a pair that's inversely correlated to the US oil. So if US oil is more or less strengthening to the upside, you're more or less seeing this one moving down to the downside. If I go to US oil so that you can see what has been happening, look at that beautiful trend. So this is what you call, these are the types of trades you want to be looking for and trade accordingly. Look at this: impulse, correction, impulse, impulse, correction, impulse. Here's another one: impulse, correction over here in the form of a flag. You want to look for such trades. Correction to the up, move to the upside. So beautiful. So you have that 1, 2, 3, 4 trades, just like what we've seen on Euro USD. It's been moving down. You want to be trading in accordance to the direction of the trend. That's what has been happening on this one. Look at the daily chart. A beautiful trend. I've been calling this, if you look at some zoom back then, I've been calling this shorts for the last few months. Okay, look at that beautiful uptrend. Market has gone to new highs. Okay, remember this thing went all the way to zero last year April. 1.5 years later, we are back at $80 mark. It's been the craziest bull market personally that I've ever seen. I've not experienced such a bull market. I feel bad that I've not really participated quite well in it. One thing is because also US oil is not one of my pairs, so I'm not regretting that much. But you don't want to be missing such moves all the way from 0 to 80 in 1.5 years. That means you can make about 8,000% return on your investment, okay? Or 80,000 investment, because that's a whole, no, it's actually an 8,000 investment, 8,000%. Speaking wise, 9,000, 7,000. Anyway, so UK oil, same thing. Look at this one. UK oil actually was a much better trade. This one didn't go all the way to zero. I think we went to as low as $16. This was even a much better trade to pay attention to. Look at that: first touch, second touch, third touch, third touch, correction in the form of a flag, a support level acting at this level. Look at that support, bounce, here. Look at that beautiful rally. I remember this is one of the trades I regret. I didn't get an entry on this one, and I've seen market just rallying to all-time highs for the year. Okay, so back to my USD card market that I was showing you. So what I've been paying attention to, so look at this one, just like what we've been seeing on so many people might ask, the dollar has been rallying but USD card is falling. So the main reason is because pay attention to the oil. Oil is what has been showing this market forming to the lower side. I've marked here on my charts multiple rejections forming a head and shoulder bearish indication. So look at that pattern: high highs, market falls, high falls, fails to form a new high, comes and forms actually a lower low. Okay, this market might crash. There's more probability to the downside than there is to the upside on this one. A beautiful pattern forming on this one. This is what I like to see. Beautiful curve up here. That's not a pattern, okay? That's just a curve. No pattern indication there. I've just drawn it. It looks nice. It's like a crown. Head and shoulder formation. Basically, market can fall to the lower side. Of course, some corrections along the way. If you look at the 4-hour chart, that's what I've been talking to my students, showing them some support here. Look at this, lower low, lower high, lower low, but there can be some support over here. Of course, expect some rally. Okay, if market corrects over here, comes and gets a trend line bounce over here, looking at that first, second, third bounce, we can get a beautiful short position to continue the lower lows being formed on this one. If not, if market breaks below this support level, if you zoom it out, you can clearly see it. You can see this support level can come after support, breakout, retest, maybe continue to the downside. So that's what I'm watching on this one. Last but not least, I'm paying attention to US30. US30 1 day. Is this US30 now? It's also dollar. US30, Dow Jones, looking for long-term longs to the upside. Okay, you can see that resistance. Can we get another resistance here yet again? Okay, more high likelihood we can. So same thing like what we saw on UK oil, what I've just shown you. Look at the support. Market can come get the support in line with the trend line bounce. I'll be looking for those longs to the upside. Okay, beautiful third trend line bounce to finish the last quarter of the year, the fourth quarter, which I personally believe we're in a bull market, so we might more or less finish it strong, and also starting off to the next year. Looking at the 4-hour chart, market is in a beautiful sideways movement. So this is what I shared in the Zoom earlier on. Look at this resistance, which market has respected once, twice, and the third time moved to the downside. We had a crazy rally on Monday. Market sort of spiked to the upside, then quickly dropped back below. So what am I paying attention to? The support level, to the mid level, okay? Mid level of this sideways movement. So as I've said, there are two types of correction. It's either it's a pullback or it's a sideways movement. Now this one is a more or less a sideways movement. So I want to see this level that market is sort of struggling to break below. Okay, you can see this support acting as a strong support. Market is rallying to the upside. So I'm paying attention when I'm using market structure. I'm looking at paying keen attention. Small details is what really matters to the smaller time frames. Okay, what candlestick is forming, what levels is the market respecting, is it a major or a minor level? Ask yourself those questions. If you get a support, this one, look at the way it's closing. If you get close like this on a 4-hour chart, then we can get a strong rally, market to continue to the upside. If not, we can get a breakout to the downside. Then I'll be looking for this support level to be attained in line with that daily time frame trend line I was telling you about at this level. So I'm paying attention to that. Beautiful analysis. I like it. Personally, that's what I've been paying attention to. So I think that's what I'll end it today. Nothing much. Those are the pairs I normally trade. Let me not go too much into the other pairs. I've not done intensive analysis on it. I think something just to pay attention to, give a shout out to is the yen pairs. Yen has been rallying. Not rallying. I mean, the yen has been weakening. Okay, so yen has been weakening across a lot of platforms, so it's something you should pay attention to. So look at this. Euro has been rallying to the upside, meaning the yen is weakening. NZD, JPY, same thing. Yen has been weakening across the board. Look at this. This is GJ. Okay, GJ higher. Market has been moving higher, meaning the pound has been gaining against this one, and UJ as well. So I think the dollar has been a much better safe haven than the yen. Meaning this market is just in a crazy, the yen is weakening across all sectors. I don't know how the Nikkei is performing. The Nikkei is index for the Japanese market, so I don't know what is performing, but I'll look at it later on today. But that's what has been performing. Yen weakness, dollar strength has been the narrative for the past few days, past few weeks. I hope you've enjoyed that analysis. I think I'll end it there, and I hope you've enjoyed. So I'll see you guys on next week analysis, and I look forward to bringing you more content. Okay, so that's it from me, and have a wonderful day, guys. Wonderful week.